Call Ascension Parish Utilities Committee meeting to order. I would ask Councilman Kent Shakespeare to lead us in the prayer, followed the prayer to lead.
Dear Lord, we want to thank you for all the good things you've given to all the people of Ascension Parish. We appreciate this rainfall that you've given, and we'd ask that you end it now so that everyone can get back to the nice weather that we've had this weekend, and we appreciate all that. We'd like to ask you to give us the knowledge and the correct decisions to make for the people of Ascension Parish, and as always, we'd like to ask that as soon as possible our people from abroad come home. We ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All members present: Councilman Shake Snyder, Councilman Dempsey Lambert, Councilman Oliver Joseph, Councilman Dennis Collins. Anybody wishing to speak on anything on the agenda, please sign in with the secretary. First, we're going to have an update on the comprehensive wastewater plan. Where we at on it? Mr. Bob Turner.
We have been working on the comprehensive wastewater plan with the Corps of Engineers, and during the transition between administrations and changes of council, we've reached a point where we feel like we ought to sit down and meet with the parish president and kind of all get on the same sheet again, and so we don't have anything in detail. I'd be glad to respond to your questions. There is an individual from the Corps here that not prepared to give a comprehensive status of where we're at, but if you would like a brief status of where we're at, he could do that.
Mr. Bob, we would like to sit down with President Martinez and yourself and a couple of council members, this committee, and just try to figure out which direction we want to head in.
Sure. I might suggest...
Have a working meeting.
Yes, sir. I might suggest Kenny Matasta is basically in a transition to take over and monitor sewer, so he ought to be a part of that, and probably Mr. Gotro also ought to be a part of that discussion.
Yes, sir. And anybody you see that need to be there, and we sit down and come up with a plan, do some brainstorming, and then we'll meet with some of the other parties.
I totally concur with that. I think that's a perfect thing to do. We need to get together ourselves and then meet with the Corps and see where we're at. I'll set that up.
Any other comments, concerns?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Who do you have, Mr. Turner, from the Corps?
Roland? Yeah.
Is there any updates that we need to know of? Yeah, has he anything from the last meeting?
Roland Muir with Hartman Engineering. The latest with the Corps program is that the very last item is the design of the effluent force main for the East Bank wastewater plant. That is in preliminary design. It would have talks with chemical plants located in the corridor between the plant and the river. The last discussions were with Shell Chemical, and the outcome from that was there was a preliminary routing of the force main between BASF and Shell Chemical, and the Corps was going to engineer was going to go back and essentially ride the route with representatives from Shell on trying to pin down the final location. That's the next step when we do that. And then, but like Mr. Turner mentioned, the Corps wants to meet with Parish and reestablish this plan and the schedule. But that the latest, like I said, is the work we on routing the force main on Shell's property.
Any other question? Mr. Joseph?
Yeah, Mr. Have we still have not secured that property with BAFS?
No, but we, several months back, we had the plant manager here at the council meeting who made a verbal commitment to go ahead with the property. And we also have been talking to him on using part of other BASF property for the force main routing.
Okay, so we have no agreement until this council make a decision on that comprehensive plan.
He is looking for a commitment from the parish, but every time we've approached him, he said he's ready, but he's looking for the commitment.
Okay. Just want to remind everyone that we have no property until we commit. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? No question. I would like to apologize. We have Mr. Cliff Palmer here. He was the consultant who acquired the STAG grant for us, and he's here in town. Just recognize Cliff. Thank you. Update on the Harryville Sewer Project.
Glenn Shane, the GSA, is here to give us an update as to where we're at on that project.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Turner. The status of the project as we stand here tonight, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, the project is about 70 to 75% complete. The original contract price on the project was $1.7 million. We have approved payments for work completed totaling $1.2 million. There's about $500,000 worth of work left to be completed on this project. The work that the contractor has completed to date includes all of the laying of all of the mainline pipe. All of the service mains have been included. He is currently testing the sewer mains and the treatment plant so that he can begin making tie-ins to the residences. The original scheduled date for completion was January 25th. That date has now been changed to March 2nd. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
It's a good day.
Thank you. I'm sorry?
March 2nd. It's a good day.
Yes.
Any questions for Mr. Shine?
Yes, I have one question.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes, sir. How is the community for the hookup? Are we working with grants and getting most of the people hooked up on that system? And what is the cost of it for an individual that is not eligible for a grant?
That, Mr. Joseph, I'd have to do a little research, but most of the residences qualify for a tie-in or hookup by the block grant funds. So the block grant is awarded based on a threshold of 65% minimum low-income folks. So we expect that the majority of them will be tied in. I can give you a reporting at the next meeting of how many qualify and how many will be required to fund their own tie-ins and what that cost would be.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, that is your district. Do you have a fee, a cost for someone that's not eligible for that, or?
No, I don't. The contractor looks at how much it costs to tie them in, and they can get an individual to tie them in. But the parish waives the fee, which is a sewer fee for tying after the project. It's like $500 per house.
Okay.
And that's being waived while the project is open. Once they close the project, they have to pay that $500 fee for tying.
All right. Well, If someone asked me that, no, I couldn't give them
I'll
an
give you
answer.
reporting at the we'll give you reporting
If
at the
they
next
have a
meeting.
contact person, they should call DPW or someone.
Mr. Roberto will
Right.
send out letters to all the residents in the area, letting them know what the tie-in fees and everything, and the ones who qualified, they don't pay a fee.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, we have a listing of all the ones that are qualified to date, and I can provide that to the committee at the next meeting. It's a physical name and physical address of the resident that is approved and qualified to be tied in.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Thank you, Mr. Shea. An update on the Darrell sewer system, just how it's running, what it costs to operate it.
I can get that detail for you. I wasn't sure what you needed on this item. However, the Darrell system is the best system that we have in the parish under our parish maintenance. It's a excellent system, operates with very little, no problems. We serve about 250 homes with the Darrell system. I'd be tickled to death if all of our systems were as good as the Darrell system. I can get you details as to the cost per home and that sort of thing. But I apologize, I wasn't prepared to speak to that particular issue.
Mr. Bob, the Harryville system is the same system we got in Darrell, just 3 times the size.
I think that's correct. Yeah, they were both designed by GSA.
Question, Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Bob, last meeting we brought up the incident at Lamar Dixon. My question is, and President addressed that sewage feeds. I mean, are we collecting sewage feeds on these things?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are. Yeah, there are monthly sewer fees that individual households have to pay for their sewer service, and that goes into the sewer fund, which goes to pay the cost of the salaries for the 2 employees assigned to wastewater. In addition to that, the disposal cost.
Okay.
I will point out to you, sewers are not money makers. They just are not. They're, if you own the gas, the water, the electric, what you do is use those to fund the sewer partially. But when we own sewer only, it's not a money maker, and so the best we can do is to attempt to break even.
Yeah, Mr. Bob, can I get a list of all sewage treatment plant that we're receiving fees from?
Yes, you can. We have 5, and I'll get that for you. I'll give you the list.
Okay, and can you provide me what's the cost to upkeep those? The yearly.
Yes, I can try to do that. Essentially, we take the 2 employees that we have and we distribute their salary evenly over all the 5 plants. And then in addition to that, then any cost associated with repair and maintenance of particular plants. A good example, Darrell costs relatively little to maintain. Country Ridge costs a lot. I mean, even tonight with our little rain, we're going to have infiltration into the Country Ridge system that could cause us problems. But I'm not concerned about Darrell, but I am concerned about Country Ridge. And then we've got 3 other plants kind of in the middle.
Well, and that's what I want to make sure that I'm up to breast on what's going on with that, because there's a cost that we're going to be incurring in the future, and I'd like to make sure we keep those fees within that cost.
Yeah. No,
I mean, like you say, we don't make money.
No.
But we can break even.
I agree. The other item, I guess you're well aware of, and council has passed, and we're working hard to go to bid to make improvements on the Country Ridge system to the extent of somewhere in excess of $500,000 to improve that system. But and so hopefully when that's done, we'll be able to brag on it like we can brag on the Darrell system.
All right, Mr. Bob, I've been here in Country Ridge for a long time. I think I was about 18, and it was still bad news. So I'm hoping you can change that.
Yes, sir, I do too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Joe, the sewer fees in the Darrow area is $35 per customer.
And I just want to make sure the maintenance costs equal the total cost of it. I appreciate the information, but I'd like to know over the long haul what it going to cost.
As a matter of information, at the end of the 2007 budget, and it's still being finalized for closeout, we essentially were awash. Our revenue and our amount we had appropriated in the budget just was right at even. So I thought that was relatively good news.
So we still haven't put Country Ridge in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions for Mr. Bob? Update on jail project. Mr. Bob, I see you got Fulton to Bladder here.
Yes. They're going to tell us all about it.
Well, actually, Fort Nablata completed the survey work for the project. The engineers on this project are Ray Davisak.
Where's Mr. Davisak?
Steve is here with them.
Steve Breeding with Davisak Consulting Engineers. Just a quick little update. Notice to proceed was issued on June 1. Fort Nablata's notice to proceed was on September, and now they're bringing in their drawings so we can sit down and start looking at that. I've actually got a request. We've had a request put in for the geotechnical on this one. I'd like to ask you to approve that so that can be awarded and that work can be begun here as soon as we get a layout and get a layout approved. So if you would, we can commence that without having any delays there.
Mr. Shakespeare.
Yes. I'm sorry. When did Fort Nablata complete there?
We just completed it.
You just completed. When was it awarded?
Well, I think it was awarded sometime in September, but I don't think we actually got a notice to proceed till later.
Notice to proceed was
Sometime November, I want to say. 1st of December.
Yeah, there was a delay in
There
there.
was some delay.
September.
November, December. You had
Yeah, I won't.
notice to proceed, and so it took a couple months. Okay. And that project, that part of the project's completed now, and you're looking to do what?
The topographic survey is complete. We were also given the charge, right now, the canal that is going to be alongside where this force main is going to be, you do not have drainage servitude for that canal. So we were given the charge, in addition to having the right-of-way maps drawn up for the force main project, once the design is complete, we're also going to set the drainage servitude for that canal, which you presently do not have.
Okay.
So we still have that process to go through, but we'll be working on that, as he gets closer to finishing his design.
Well, that was my next question. When do we get right-of-way acquisition?
When you get you a line, a proposed line down in there, an alignment that you're happy with and fairly well comfortable that you're not going to have any issues down the line, landowners or utilities, property, things like that, then all that will progress real quick. You can start your permitting process and put down on plans.
So, well, I'm just trying to figure out where do we go from here on this particular situation, because we need to get this project done as quickly as possible, and I am in a sense following you, but I don't know exactly what you're asking us to do now in order to get this going.
At this point, she's given me the base layout, which is the survey. This is the basics, what we've got out here. We need to go through that, finalize an alignment in there, verify that we're not going to have any unknown issues because we're going through there. We got alignment issues where you go next to the property. Do you have utility lines in there? These kind of things. Crossings. Can we avoid? Can we move it, force main around so we don't have extra issues like going underneath the railroad track and things like that? So when we resolve those, which is a matter of sitting down and going through those, getting a plan up and then sitting down with your various personnel, then we can finalize an alignment. We can start putting construction plans together. The next thing that we need to do is, as soon as we get that alignment done, we need to have the geotechnical engineer go out there. We wrote you a letter back in August requesting authorization for them to go out there and do that. So that's going to happen very quickly. And the reason I'm asking you for authorization for them to go out there and do their work is so that we don't have to come back and waste another 30 days to get authorization to go do that. All this will happen fairly quick now that we've got the survey work down in there.
Excuse me one second. Mr. Gotro. Are we on schedule with this project?
I'm still working on it. I'm trying to put it all together. We just took it over last week, and we get everybody together, all the forces that's going to put it together and get everybody meeting, and I think we're getting a handle on it. Now, whether it's going to be depending on the survey and the design, that's the only thing we worry about it taking any time.
So has the design been done yet?
No, sir. The design can't be done until the survey work has been completed, an alignment has been assigned, and the geotechnical work has been done. Then the design goes in. We've already got all the basis for the flows and all that. That's already been done. That's ready to go. It's just a matter of having a final alignment and doing the final design on the lift station and actually assigning it a location.
So Fulton to Blotter got the approval to move with the survey in November?
Actually, it was December 1 by the time we got notice to proceed. It was around December 1.
Councilman Joe? Oh, I'm sorry. You finished?
No. And so once we get geotech done, how long is that going to take? And I guess what I'm looking at, I'm looking for a timeline of different events that's going to occur, and who is responsible to oversee this?
Right now, I'm over.
Right now, Mr. Garner, you are?
Working together.
Okay.
Let me just say a few things, Ken, because I know where you're going. Right now, there's no right-of-way done. There's no engineering done because
You can't get engineering until you get right away.
there's no permits applied for yet. So when we asked, what's the timeline, we don't know. You got to go into that track, and the railroad is not fast.
Right.
So we looking at the building that's going to be ready, and where we have the sewer there. I don't know if he can answer that.
Well, and
Because in the contract, there's no kind of timelines, and plus the costs. What's the cost?
my question is for right-of-way. I mean, what are we doing to gain right-of-way for that right now? Because that appears to be the next thing that we have to knock down to.
Well, you've got right-of-way issues, and you've got these permit issues. You've got DOTD permits. You may have some 404 permit issues, and that's really not within Fort
Right.
Lauderdale's control. But we have met with all of the property owners just to gain right of entry into their property, so they understand what we were out there for. That doesn't mean that they're going to give you the rights to their property or sell you their property or however that's going to have to happen within the right of way. But they know we had to go in there and survey. So it's not like all of a sudden somebody's going to be hitting them blind with that. So they have been aware. They've given us right of entry agreements. That's how because you can't go in there and survey on private property
Yeah.
without that.
Well, we understand the situation that has been in, and I know Mr. Garney had talked to me earlier, and he comes in a situation cold turkey, so to speak. I would like to definitely have for the next meeting organized where we would get a timeline as to and a sequence of events that has to occur, and a timeline so we can get a route and get this thing done as quickly as possible. Because as you know, this is a timed event. I mean, we don't have all forever to do it. And whatever is the obstacle that's being thrown in front of you, if you bring it to our attention, then we can try to take that obstacle away.
To date, the biggest obstacle has just been getting survey data in. The next obstacle will be, from a design standpoint, will be the geotechnical work. So that's something that I'm gonna have to have before we can go too much farther.
Why do we have to approve a permit to move forward with geotech?
No, geotechnical engineering. That's
Engineering?
your soil borings and everything else
Yes.
that we need for the design. Right?
That's not part of the contract?
Not part of the contract. It's a supplementary service to the contract.
Why would it be?
Well, why is that not as part of the contract? I mean, Kenny, I don't know, maybe you can answer it.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we wasn't a part of putting this all together, but you still don't have a cost on what the sewer is going to cost you.
Mm-hmm.
My knowledge, I haven't seen anything to that effect.
Well, unless you want to take your time out and go back and figure out a cost, and bring that to us at the next meeting also, because
Well, I would think the engineer could come up with a cost.
whoever is administrating this, I know we had been talking to Mr. Sigler in the past. The information that we had been given is that things are going on timeline and they're going within budget. I know things have changed. And so by the next meeting, nobody wants to put anybody on the spot right now. By the next meeting, we'd like to have some information that would be true and to the point and where we need to go. And that's all we're asking.
I know that Ray's office and my office are working real closely together to try to get this done as quickly as we can for y'all.
Well-
So, I mean, we're working real closely with them, even though, I mean, we're not doing the engineering on it, they are. But, you know, any assistance that they need from us and any possible additional survey or whatever, we're going to get it to them. So.
And like I say, Mr. Gordon, whatever you need us to do to expedite the situation, just bring it to our attention. Other than that, you know, handle it, and we'll go from there.
We'll keep you all informed also as we go.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Jones?
Yeah. I remember this project, and I'm gonna just go. The biggest thing I have on this project: what is the cost? I mean, I seen this project a year ago, 2 years ago. I seen cost estimate on this project from those, and I'm just saying. And now I'm coming to find out there was never no cost estimate from your department, your engineering firm, to
My
say
engineering firm, we have a construction estimate, if that's what you're asking.
what is that? Yeah.
$1.5 million. You're going a long way with that sewer force main. That is a long force main.
So you got $2 million to do water and sewer.
Huh?
That's what I.
My other question is 1.5. Can we get a detailed list of that cost? Next question.
That's right.
That even with, you just made a statement that you may have to be land acquisition. Is that cost? Have land acquisition in there?
No, there's no land acquisition in it.
You say it may.
Oh, no, I have no idea. I mean, when we
And
approach
that's
this
a
property
possibility. I just want to know if we do have land acquisition costs in
right-of-way
there.
maps and right-of-ways.
Have your engineering firm spoke with the city of Downsonville?
There's been several levels of communication in there. I'm not familiar with all the levels that have been done in the past. I know that they have talked. I know they've discussed the project, because we went over there and met with the plant over there, talked about where the right-of-way was and all that. So I've been out there and met with them. We talked about where the lines need to go through and things like that, how it needs to tie into the plant.
I just recall that, you know, that is we agreed to agreement with the city of Downsonville, and there's an additional cost. I'm just going to let Mr. Dorney and Mr. Matasson know there's a cost in there for the expansion of the Downsonville water treatment plant.
We didn't know that. We didn't hear that in the meetings. We only went to like 3 meetings so
Right.
far, and none with the engineering company other than a discussion with DSAC on it. And one has been working with Ms. Ann on the survey. But cost-wise, the only meeting I went to, I heard $2 million for sewer and water and $250 for with the tower that I think was in that grant. But it looks like it's going to be a lot more than $2 million. That's what I want you to know.
We're trying right now just to get a copy of every contract. We're going over them, Kenny and I, and just trying to make heads or tails of them right now. And some of the contracts, I don't even know if we got one with the city of Dawsonville yet. We need to check and see.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, you know, the run this project is $1.5 million. That also includes the engineering, survey fees and all the geotechnical fees. And
No, so that $1.5 million is construction cost.
engineering fees.
No, so that's construction cost.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, I understand when you say 1.5 construction cost, but there are other fees that we need to know so we can assure that if it project the construction cost is 1.5 and we got another $600,000 in fees at over $2.1 million, then or we budget for that with the GEO currently.
I can provide them with letters. We sent letters in the past requesting notice to proceed based on certain dollars, and that was issued direct from the parish to the subcontractor, like Fort and Tablada. That was a request for additional services. That came through letter, and I'll be happy to give them whatever documentation that they need.
I'd like for you to send all that documentation to this board and to the administration, all y'all correspondence.
Okay.
We need to find out where we need to be on this project. Mr. Martinez.
I'd just like to add that how fast can we get that information?
Copies of the file.
Well, Mr. Gone and which company, can y'all get that information no later than next week, Tom?
Well, we can get it to you this week. I mean, that's really not a big deal.
And I'd like Mr. Gone and Mr. Matassa at least keep this committee here abreast of it. If it's going to go over the $2 million, we need to know that ASAP.
We'll set a meeting for this coming Friday and meet with y'all.
That's fine.
What time this coming Friday, Mr. Gotro?
8 o'clock at the jail.
8 o'clock at the jail. Any of you guys want to attend that meeting?
Can't have anything in the afternoon?
10 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
I'd like to make a request that we have it in some afternoon. It's in my district,
Okay.
and I would like to attend the meeting. And
Friday, Thursday, whatever.
It would be hard to change it this week, Kent, because you got, how many people in this? Like 10 or 12 people.
We understand. Mr. Sheikh,
we understand that. And I had made a request in the past that due to my work schedule, I would like to have the meetings that are scheduled concerning the jail to be after 2:30. I made that in the past, and that hadn't been adhered to then either. And I would appreciate it in the future that we would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Friday, you want to change Friday or?
You said it was too hard to change.
No, I meant for this Friday, they got them all scheduled. All these companies are committed to be there at that time. But for the next meeting, we can change it to whatever day you want. That's what I'm saying.
That'd be fine.
Okay?
Mr. Martinez, I'm sorry.
I just want to say, this is the first we heard of the 2:30 request, so after 2:30 on Friday. But this was...
This is a previous administration.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I just want to say that this project has been seemingly ill-conceived from the beginning. I think we got too many hands in the pot. I think we got different engineers doing this. We got surveyors doing this. We got the Grace Abair doing the architect part. We should have put somebody in charge of the project as a project manager. There's a lot of things that's going on. I think Gorney's done an excellent job of putting it together. I think we got a handle on it now. Chris Laura's going to give us an update on it at the next finance meeting. We've decided to put off on a couple of the projects at the jail until we find out what the budget is and what it's going to truly cost us. I don't think we want to go over budget. There's a couple things like upgrading video cameras in the old part of the jail, and there's that we can leave out that wasn't part of the original project. There's the 40 beds for the trustees that wasn't part of the original project. But I'm just glad we getting a handle on this, because I think this could have been a disaster as far as cost and cost overrides if it had continued in the way it was handled in the past. So I think we got a handle on it now. I think we're going to watch it very, very closely, and we're not going to let it go over budget, I can assure you.
Thank you. Councilman Joseph.
Yes, I just want, if y'all can update, we do have a finance meeting this Thursday, correct?
March.
In the March, 27th.
I just want to make sure that Mr. Chris Law get the information, but he got enough time. Oh, yeah, he back there? Oh, all right. No, he's not.
Anything else? Councilman.
I would just ask the administration if they can go back and do a record search on the previous engineer firm study to see if this will be feasible based on what they provide and what this DABASAC provide. I mean, I have not seen any study on this thing or estimated cost. So, I mean, I wish you'd go back and give us a recommendation on it, because there is a huge difference in costs. So I'm hoping.
So when do you want to report on that?
You can give Mr. Chris Lohr that information.
For the next finance meeting?
That information be provided to him, and if you can have that for us for the meeting at the jailhouse.
Not tomorrow.
No, Friday. That's when you asked for it, Ken? 8 o'clock, you say Friday morning, right? Oh, y'all changed it? Shouldn't be talking to you. When that meeting at the jailhouse going to be, Mr.
8 o'clock Friday morning.
Can you have that information there?
I'll give it my best. I'll give it to...
Mr. Martinez, could you check to make sure that intergovernmental agreement with the city of Downsonville and all those fees are in order, and send us a copy of the intergovernmental agreement, please?
We'll get everything lined up for you. We'll have it in the packet. We'll try to get it to you, who's going to the meeting at 8 o'clock Friday. Mr. Joe.
I will try to attend. I'm working nights Thursday night.
I'll be there.
Councilman Joseph. Mr. Shakes, how you think you can get off? Okay. We have anything else on the jail? Mr. Bob?
No, sir.
The existing plant, are we experiencing any trouble to jail?
On the existing
Sewer
lift
plant.
station, yes, sir. We have a burn-up motor at the lift station at the jail. The motor is being repaired or replaced. It apparently was burned up when rags became stopped in the impeller, and the motor burned up. It's a submergible pump. We've got a requisition, and the motor is in the process of being repaired or replaced.
I understand there's some problems with the tank also, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
The motor is a major concern. Several thousands of dollars on the motor. That might be as much as $7,000 to $9,000.
To put a new one or repair that one?
It's my understanding that that one cannot be repaired, that it has to be replaced.
Thank you. Anything else?
I mean, I remember us being at a meeting and they discussed that they had some sort of skimmer or something, or screen that was supposed to be installed so that they wouldn't get these rags and different things that are being pushed down the drains over there. So We just assumed that all of that has been done, but apparently not. So,
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I'll check on that. but no.
well, and I mean that was talked about 3 years ago. So,
Oh, okay.
we really
I'm
don't
sorry,
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, the rags got through to the impeller and stopped it and burnt the motor up, so it could be a failure of the screens.
Well, we're being asked to authorize geotech for the jail for some soil boring.
I don't think I'm the one to ask that, because I haven't been involved in the jail. Public Works dug the ditch around the jail, and that's essentially our role. And
Mr. Cottrell?
Mr. Chairman, I would not be in support of doing that now until the meeting after the Friday meeting at 8 o'clock to make sure they're all on board.
Okay. Well, okay.
They just have to wait. Yeah. Wait until after.
Anything else? Anybody got anything? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Joseph, second by Councilman Kent. Any opposition? Motion adjourned.